Yo, welcome to today's show, December 22nd. Man, it has been a hell of a year. We are about to approach Christmas. Whole lot of things happening around the globe. I am Twan the Voice, Mr. Barry Crosby, Mr. Dr. James R. Hill. What's happening?
What is going on, people out in shop culture land? Welcome again. This is Shop Culture. Man, I'm joined by, you know who he is, the relationship guru.
What are you doing out there? Glad you're tuning in. We got a good one for you tonight.
We got a good one. And of course, we got the other tag team partner. You know the man with the voice.
Yo, how you ladies and gentlemen doing out there tonight? Appreciate it.
There.
Appreciate it.
That's Twan the Voice.
That's Twan the Voice. And then I'm Barry Crosby. And once again, this is Shop Culture. And thank you guys for tuning in and joining us again. We are getting, we're getting close to Christmas, man.
Close to Christmas, close to the end of this dreadful year.
Thank God.
Thank God, and I'm thankful we all survived it. I'm glad y'all survived it and are staying healthy and safe.
Yes. What's up, Corey Jones? How you doing, man? How you living, man? Talk to us. Yeah, we want to make sure everybody is safe, man. There's a lot going on with COVID, and now they're saying flu season, but you always can get the vaccine. We talked about that last week, but we won't go back into that.
Use your better judgment.
Use your better judgment. And then you got the stimulus coming in. So how many of y'all are excited for $600?
Not coming my way.
Yeah. Some of us, we're not even coming close to that. But hey, is it the thought that counts? I won't even go that far. But anyway, thanks again, guys. This is Shop Culture. How was your weekend, bro?
Man, my weekend was chill. You know, it was, I had the grandkids. Attempted to build a gingerbread house. They run me crazy. They're full of energy. So
a lot of energy, huh?
It was a good weekend. Got some rest with the wife. It was good.
Yeah, no, mine was chill, man. It is chill. I mean, it's not really much you can do, at times like this, but you do what you do. So as long as you're able to spend some time with your loved ones and some family, hey, that's what it's about.
And last weekend we got into the Christmas spirit. I was feeling kind of merry. We took the boat out, and there was a lighted boat parade on the lake. And, there was like 112 boats out. We did a parade all around the lake, playing Christmas carols, drinking special beverages. And,
I want to know what the special beverages were. What were those?
It's stuff that keeps you warm.
Keep you warm in tune, huh?
Yes, sir. So, it was good. We had a good time.
Excellent, man. Well, let's get on to it, man. We're trying to get in the holiday spirit, but we always have to have these conversations. Talk to us about the conversation we're about to have here. About the meme.
I don't know. Can you throw that up, Twan?
Yo, man. Which one would you like to literally go into?
We want to get into a conversation of independent women.
Uh-oh.
And I mean, there's a lot of single, strong, independent women. And the question is, can a woman be too independent for a man, for a relationship? Is she ready? And what does it take to get ready if you're that independent woman?
That's okay.
I mean, a lot of fellas are intimidated by a successful woman that can handle her own, that's independent.
Okay.
But then for those brothers that are ready to step up and deal with that independent woman, is that independent woman ready to deal with a relationship and a man?
That's a lot.
Yo, Doc, off top, I gotta ask, is there such thing as a true independent woman at this point?
And that's a great question. And that leads into, there can't be, a woman can't be too independent. Okay. But the question within that is, can she be interdependent?
Wow.
What do you mean by
Now what do
interdependent?
you said that before? Now,
Right. I'll elaborate.
Okay, elaborate on that.
So when a woman gets into a relationship, and you also have a man that's independent, he's a leader, he's handles his business. Does she have the ability to step back on that independence and depend more on that man, or depend partially on that man, allow him to lead, make decisions together? It's called interdependence. As a team, you rely on each other.
Okay.
So
that would seem like a positive, though.
Yes, you depend on each other.
Okay.
But is it possible for her to make that shift from independence to interdependence?
We talk about maybe a woman that's in the corporate field being able to take when she comes home, she takes that off.
Whatever.
Maybe she's an executive or management, or is that kind of, because I don't.
Even some women that aren't in management fields, whatever her career is, she's independent, she's handling her business. Is she able to let that responsibility, put some of that responsibility on that man, and be able to depend and rely on him? Because ladies, don't say, I can't rely on a man, because you chose it. So you chose to share your time, your life, your love with this man. So if you can't depend and rely on him, that speaks for your choices. What do you guys think? I want to hear it in the comments. We don't see the comments on the screen, Twan.
Yo, Doc. Yo, that went way, way deep.
You did.
Miss Karen D. Hill said, depends on what level the relationship is at.
Yes.
Mr. Corey Jones said, I like that. Interdependence.
Yeah.
And that's a shift.
So does that take away the mode of what a man probably should do in terms of certain things?
Absolutely, it's what a man should do. And it should be a sense of relief for a woman when she can trust in a man to do some of these things that she relied on only herself to do. So now she can rely on someone else to share these responsibilities with her. And she can rely on that, because she's
not used to it. You can't be at fault at her. She's not used to it. She's been picking these bad, or these, no good men, or men that aren't able to, help with the load. And to say she is a single woman for a large part of her life, maybe have a child or two children.
Right. And
to ask her to just all of a sudden become interdependent.
And that's the challenge. And that's part of being ready for a relationship. That's part of, we're going into this relationship, you have to pick someone that you can depend on. Therefore, you have to shift some of your independence over to this partner. And you have to be able to depend on them.
At what
that takes
point,
trust, though.
At what point?
And why would you be in a relationship with someone you can't trust?
Well, there's a lot of people that are in a relationship with people that they trust to a certain extent.
No.
What?
Trust is one of the cornerstones of the foundation. You got to have trust before you can move on and get serious.
You hope so.
You would have to have it. It's necessary.
So you have to be completely trustworthy to be in a relationship with somebody?
Absolutely.
So you never heard of nobody being, I trust to a certain extent.
And then why are you in a relationship? You're not totally committed if you can't trust. If there's no trust, how are you going to commit?
No, but what I'm saying, there are levels to the trust, though.
Okay, what are the levels?
There's levels of trust. To sit there and be like, I trust this person wholeheartedly, especially if you're just getting into a relationship, I don't see that.
Well, no, you build that.
You build that too. But even after building that, there's still going to be some levels to that.
While you're building it, there are levels to it.
Right. So have they given you a reason not to trust them?
Well, I would say a lot of women harbor a lot of past. It's interesting. Trust is such a hard issue for a lot of people because of they bring the past and they bring it into a current situation, even if they don't mean to.
Yo, our friend B said being interdependent is a must in a relationship.
I totally agree with you, V.
But what are the steps to get to there, though?
Right. And my question to you, can a strong, independent woman make that shift? And is that something she's considering when she's committing to get into a relationship, that now she's going to be interdependent and there's someone else that she's going to depend and rely on for things? Before you can make that choice, trust has got to be there.
Yeah, but again, we have to ask, what are the steps and levels to get to that point? Because just to say it's a must, well, okay, but I don't think that a lot of people think that that's a must. Well, I think a lot of people go into relationships for different reasons.
What are some of those reasons?
Being comfortable or want to share certain aspects of their life with a person.
Okay, can you be comfortable and share intimate aspects of your life with someone you can't trust or you don't trust?
Maybe in the past, I think I probably have been guilty of that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been guilty of that.
Okay, right.
I believe I probably have been guilty of that several times.
And if that's you, people out there think, trust has got to come before love. Trust, respect, communication, and friendship. Got to have those four.
They're the cornerstones.
Yeah, then you can build a love.
But those are cornerstones that take time
to
develop.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about, I mean, there's a lot of people in their 40s and 50s still are trying to figure that out. So
work on it, people. I mean, you got to have those four. You can't say you love someone if they're not your friend, if you don't trust them, if you can't effectively communicate with them. And furthermore, if there's not that mutual respect. Respect comes before love.
Yo, that's kind of interesting, because we actually had one of our viewers say something. Miss Karen said she can make the shift if she's with the right man.
Oh, so the man would have to lead in that aspect.
That man's got to show some positive attributes that he can be trusted, that he can be relied upon.
What's wrong with the woman possibly leading in that?
Well, we're talking about the independent woman. She's already handling her business. She's already doing her thing. So is the man. But can she make that shift to submissive-ness, to communicating, to...
And that's what I want you to get at.
Interdependence.
The key word was submissive, though.
Right.
And see, I think, okay, what do you guys think about that word? Is that a trigger word? Submissive, being submissive.
That's a trigger for a lot of people. A lot of people take it out of context.
And we all now it's lighting up.
What did Candace say? Candace said a strong woman can and will shift, especially if she can depend on him to exude strength. Don't make me nervous because it won't happen. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're nervous about some of his behaviors, if you can't rely on him, that means there's not trust totally. If she can't rely on him and she's getting nervous, she wants to be able to feel protected and secure and that she can rely on you 100%.
But Candace, is there levels to the trust though? Does that trust what does it take to get to that point? You're not going to start off, I don't think. Candace, when you started a relationship, did you just outright trust your partner?
No, no one does. But you build that trust. You walk the talk. And once they see consistency in your actions and that it's in alignment with your words, that's where trust comes in. Consistency.
All right, Mr. All right, Doc.
Is that really how we feeling, Doc? Is really like that?
All right, we got
a few comments here.
Okay.
One of them talking about I agree, trust does come first before love. I totally agree with you, Dr. Hill. Dr. Hill, V said that one, but it seems like you have a bit of a following, but our guy Corey Phillips has something other than that to say. He said, in my recent encounters, they are not ready to make that change because of maybe past experiences, even though I have shown her that I am on that same level.
Corey, I
agree with you, Corey, and you're doing the right thing. But like I said, it takes consistency with your actions. You're walking the talk. You talk the talk, walk the walk, be consistent, because they're going to wait a while to see if your feet are firmly on the ground, or they're going to be waiting for the other shoe to drop.
So it's a time thing. It's a time thing. That's where we're at.
It's time and consistency.
Time and consistency.
Absolutely. Brothers,
does time equal consistency, or is this a time?
No, because you can be time. A lot of time can go by, and you can be inconsistent with your words and your actions. But if you're consistent, it becomes a pattern, and you set that pattern. Once that pattern is recognized, and you're consistent, then you can be trusted, and walls and barriers are broken down.
It's interesting because people would have sex with a person but won't trust the person,
and that's a mistake. That's a weakness for the flesh, and that's giving in to your physical urges.
Well, is it a weakness, or is it human being human?
Humans are weak, so we need to learn to get past that. Get to the mental stimulation. Start with the mental orgasms.
Okay, The
physical will come natural. That'll flow.
We have some comments here.
Man, we got a couple of these. Candace said, I have no problem with submitting if he provides something for me to submit to.
Absolutely.
Examples of that, though. Because I hear that. It is a good point. But give us examples of that.
An example of that is you have to show strength, leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You have to provide. And when people think provider, they think monetary.
Oh, they think financial. When you say provider, it's always a financial aspect. Yes.
Finances is maybe a third of it, because you have to provide stability, security, direction. You have to have a plan. Mm-hmm. Set a goal and make a plan to achieve that goal.
But isn't finances part of that, though?
One third. Finances is 1/3 of that. The finances help you to achieve that goal and help you work that plan. Okay. And once a woman sees that you have a goal and you have a plan, and it's a family plan for direction, which includes security of that family unit, sure, she's gonna submit. She's going to support your plan. Well, and she's going to be a part of it. She's going to contribute to the success of that plan.
Okay. Well, let's ask it real way. Do people think that finances are a third of it? Some people would argue that finances is
what do you
half
guys,
of it.
What do you guys think? As far as providing,
I would say is financial, and at least half of it. At least half.
B said submissive is different for different people. The Bible and the church uses it as the man is the lead, but a man and woman are both submissive, just in different times or levels.
Yes.
Right.
How do you guys feel about that?
Totally. And because you can't, just because a woman is submissive, you can't devalue her because she brings as much value as you do.
And submissive don't mean you're the boss.
No, it does not mean you're the boss.
You're trying to boss.
It means you're providing that direction, but you are taking her intelligence and her intellect into consideration, and you're having these discussions, and you're getting her input because it brings value.
The values, yes,
to that plan. And once you take her input, put along with your thoughts and your plan, then you advance that plan and you run it by her. What do you think?
Yes. Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Shopkulture. We always got to do these in between the sets so you guys know who we are. What's up, Deb Brooks? How you doing? Happy holidays to you. And of course, we want to say happy holidays to each and every one of you guys. And thank you guys once again for tuning in to Shopkulture. Remember, you got to share and like this.
Share and like, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
And we appreciate the donations because we're starting to get donations in. We appreciate that. We appreciate the love. But, guys, it's the holiday season.
Right.
Tis the giving season. I seen a pastor, preacher was saying that. Tis the giving season. I know that's right. So I want to use that. But anyways, guys, thanks again. This is Shopkulture. We're talking about, this is a good conversation. We want to talk about, are women too independent? And I think if you're a man, I don't think there's no such thing.
Okay, but a lot of men are intimidated by a highly independent woman.
Now, when you said,
and feel a need to compete with that independence. Brothers, you don't have to compete. You contribute. Contribute.
Yes.
Then she sees that you are stable, you're reliable, you're dependable. She can depend on you, which allows her to naturally be interdependent, which is a relief for her. She doesn't have as much, she shares the responsibilities, and she knows that you're going to hold up your end. That's interdependence.
Okay. And guys, the second part of this, though, we want to ask is how valuable is the financial part of this? Where does finances play a part in it? I think it's extremely high value.
So what would you say on a percentage-wise of finances as far as being a provider? Being honest. 60% financial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I could be wrong. What do you guys think of percentage-wise of what you guys think finances are?
Right. Providing.
Provider. We're talking about providing. We're talking about hypothetical.
You know, and then I hear people say, if you don't want a broke man, you're going to have to deal with a busy man. And, you know, so therefore, if he's providing those finances 60%, he's putting 60% into his career, into bringing his income, and 40% into nurturing the family unit. That's as far as the kids and everything. So now the kids grow up, but they didn't have their dad so much because he was earning money.
He was providing.
He was providing financially, but was he providing leadership? Was he providing stability? Was he showing these boys how to be men? Showing these ladies how to act?
But I would also say, because I come from a father that worked extremely hard,
mm-hmm.
when you get older, you learn to appreciate the sacrifices that he did and made for his family.
Okay.
So
I can see that.
Yeah. You know, so I always say like work ethic or those type of things. So I don't know. I just think that it plays a very significant role in a relationship. And, you know, we can always say, it doesn't really, and he's spiritual, he's all that type of stuff. But if he's not pulling his weight financially, now let's be honest, woman's gone.
Oh yeah, but like I say, finances is 1/3. Even if you're making $200,000 a year, that finances should be 1/3 of what you're providing.
It should be.
Yes. What does V say? Finances should be discussed before you start to live together or get married. Finances are important. Where did that go? I got something in front of that.
Yo, man.
I got.
There's mad people chiming in right about now, man.
Okay, can you finish V's comment? I got something
V had a good
overlay
comment
on that.
there.
Yo, let me try to grab V's comment.
You scrolled down. You went the wrong way. There it is.
Yo, appreciate you.
Finance that one.
Here we go. V said finances should be discussed before you start to live together or get married. Finances are important, and both people need to bring something to the table. The percentage depends on the relationship.
And every relationship is different. But we also were saying, like, just wanted to. So, V, percentage-wise, how important is that in the relationship?
I see a good comment by Candy. Hey, Candy.
Yo, Candy said, if a man can't financially support his woman, he doesn't need one. Ooh. My reality is this.
Talk to him.
Don't worry about it, baby. If you ain't got it, I know how to get it and bring it back. Either way, we gonna eat.
That's what I'm talking about. See,
that's the truth.
That's interdependent. Go get it and come back with it.
No, she said,
and that's what we should both do.
And we should both. Is she saying both of you guys doing that?
She's saying,
I didn't read that part. She didn't say both of it. She said, "Boy, go get it."
Right. And she said, and if you lacking on your game, if something happens, don't trip. I got you.
Well, I don't. Wait. Maybe I'm seeing something different.
If
I don't
a man can't financially support
it, fellas.
Hold on. If a man can't financially support his woman, he doesn't need one.
Well,
my reality is, don't worry about it, baby. If you ain't got it, I know how to go get it and bring it back. Either way, we gonna eat.
Okay.
That's teamwork.
Okay.
Teamwork makes a dream work.
Okay. So, people, That was a great comment, Candace. How many people agree with that?
Yo. Candy was already chiming in talking about congrats. Exactly, James.
Okay. So we on the same page.
What did Deb say? Deb, what do you say? If that's how he should be for the woman or you?
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Okay.
Deb, you really trying to stir that pot, huh?
Okay. V says, for me, 50% of finances is important. So that's more than the third. That's more than the third.
That's more than the third. Okay.
That's way more than a third.
Way more.
Way more than a third. Look.
Hey, V just got real with it. That's at least 50.
So half of the providing should be financial, is what she's saying.
I'm talking to you directly. 50% is way more than a third. I'm gonna need you to scale that back.
Wait. Why are we telling her to scale
if that works for her,
she's being honest, and she's
right.
I agree with her. Honesty.
You know what? Honest, I gotta give her props for being honest though. Like I applaud that and appreciate that. But man, 50%.
Well, is that? What you want?
You know what? I'm cool with 50%. Let's do that.
Okay, but 50%. I'm saying I'm providing. I'm not saying I'm providing less finances, but the finance is only 1/3 of what I'm providing.
Yeah, it's a part of the package.
Right, it's part of the package.
And I'm getting that. I'm just saying I did a hypothetical question on top of that and saying how important, percentage-wise, are the finances in a relationship to maintain a relationship, to get a relationship to work. And so what V said, I said 60, you said 50. We're close. And I agree with V on that. Right. I just think it's more than a third.
Yo, Miss.
And we're being honest with each other on shop culture like we always tend to do, right?
Come on.
Finances make what? It makes the relationship go. So
right.
Two broke people looking at each other.
You also need that security, that quality time, that leadership, that direction.
Absolutely. That's a part of the
You got to make those goals and work that plan, and you got to work that plan together. You got to both be on board with what that plan is.
Okay, so shop culture viewers, when we're looking at the importance of what a relationship, right? Can we name maybe 4 things that's important? Like, what's the number 1? What's the number 2? What's the number 3? Like in terms of importance.
Respect.
Respect is 1.
Respect.
2 is finances. 3 is what?
No.
I tried to sneak it on the doc. Doc was about to say, yeah, let me go to 3rd.
Communications is in there. Respect.
We can't go respect, class, communication.
Communication, then your finances. Because if you don't respect each other and you're not actively communicating, then you interject the finances into that goal and into that plan. And that just fuels everything.
Oof. Doc, we know your book is coming, and I'm going to be the first to read it. Okay. You have made progress in my relationship, right?
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad I can be positive influence.
I just think you're off on the importance of these finances in the relationship. It's I want to even chime in. Voice.
Yo, man, what's
how important is the finances and percentage wise?
That's a really, really tough one. Speaking from a person in a position of a new relationship.
Wait, time out. We got a Facebook announcement?
No, there's no Facebook announcement.
You said did you say new relationship or?
Oh,
look, I'm
Dr. James. You see what Dr.
We don't want to go there.
Okay, I can't answer that. Did I do too much, Doc? Okay.
We're not gonna put him up on blast just yet.
But he's the one who said it.
I'm looking at a possibility.
Okay. Well, the voice is getting in his feelings.
He's getting his feelings again.
No, I'm being honest.
Okay.
This is shop culture, is it not?
Okay, but we missed some good comments.
Okay, let's go to the comments. I asked him a question.
What if he said, I need a prenup, a health directive?
Can we read that?
I need a prenup.
Yo, V said, I need a prenup. A health directive. How much you make yearly? What is our debt? How you save your money? A will and life insurance? This is if you are commingling your funds together.
Absolutely.
And so that sounds like it's a little bit more than 50, V. I agree with you, V. If you're going to take that step with a significant other, you better know all that stuff. Because you don't want no surprises. Because surprises, no.
Not today, boy.
I agree with all of that except the prenup.
Ooh.
I don't. That's personally me.
Okay.
I don't agree with prenups.
Shop culture people, what do you guys think about prenups?
I don't think a prenup is necessary if you have that level of trust. So you're putting a high intrinsic value on material things, because regardless, in this state anyway, in Washington state, if any of y'all, it's community state. Community. So it's going to be 50-50. If you're contributing 80-10 in divorce court, it's going to be 50-50, and you're going to leave equally yoked.
And real quick, guys, I just want to say, people that are watching the Shop Culture show from James's page or Barry's page, right? You're not going to be able to see all the comments. You got to go to the Shop Culture page. So I just want to give you guys a head up on that, because people are hitting me up on it, and we can't read them because we don't necessarily see them. So you go to the Shop Culture page.
V, I think you got that. Go scroll back. She said respect, finances, and then trust.
V, I agree with V. Amen, V.
Finances comes after trust.
Ooh, and then Nick Jones, I agree.
Man,
Nick,
look, you
shout out to Nick Jones.
Come on,
look,
what's up, Nick?
You gotta go ahead and get Mr. Nick Jonas on here, because Nicholas Jonas is like the devil's advocate of all programs.
Oh.
Man, salute, son. On the financial front, that's the problem with everybody right now. Folks putting percentages on whatever it is instead of moving as a unit. A lot of y'all ain't gonna make it with these wild criteria.
I agree with that.
So Nick Jones,
stop focusing on the finance. Focus on your goal and work that plan. Finances are going to come.
Let's ask. So what you just said is finances are low on what is important in a relationship to you, and that's fine. Each is their own.
What did Karen say?
Okay, Karen, talk to him.
Yo, Miss Hill said, again, we don't focus on finances in our marriage. There are things other than things,
other things that are more important.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say when you get to the level where finances, when money's not an object in your life, you don't focus on it so much. You don't. If you have $300 million, you don't have financial troubles. You
don't, but it plays a part probably in decision making in certain things, because we see all these, ultra rich people get divorced, and then when it gets ugly when it comes to the finance, you're like, well, why do I got to? If you got $300 million, you shouldn't be tripping about splitting any of it, correct? Right. But it's still finances that you're tripping about. You're like, well, what? So and finances always play that part.
Yeah, I mean. You think Bezos blinked an eye when he gave his wife $32 billion?
He didn't want to.
In their divorce?
I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. No, you know what I'm saying? So
he can still do everything he could done before. I mean, he's going to have his grandchildren have money. So finances, I think people put too much emphasis on it, and it causes problems.
It can cause problems. You're right. Yeah. But I think it causes a problem when you don't communicate and you don't have the communication. So I think that's where the problem lies. If you're not communicating and you're making decisions based on yourself, then I think you're going to have some issues.
Absolutely.
Yo, Mickey Payne said, finances play a part in marriage, but there are things that supersede that in my marriage.
And thanks Michelle, for watching the show. Appreciate you.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't put finances first, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's half. It's about a third.
V, I'm still on your team, V. V, I ain't left you because you made a lot of sense. But V is in the financial field, so it probably would be important.
What a Tina Jones. Hey, Tina.
Miss Jones. Tina Jones.
Yo, appreciate you, Tina. Tina said, Henry said yes. He blinked.
Who blinked?
Blinked on.
Oh, V's going in.
Come on, V. Talk to us.
All right. Though the financial guru V said, prenup is more like a business. Whatever you bring in the relationship, you should lead with. However, what you build together gets split. It's not that I don't trust the person, but you still have to deal with reality.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many situations destroyed. You should trust each other to face finances together.
Amen.
Right. And that's why I say I don't agree with the prenup, because I'm not going into a relationship as a business. And when I met my wife, we didn't have anything. We've been together 7 years, and we have built quite a bit together.
Yes.
So we did that together. So a prenup would be null and void because we were both broke.
Yeah. I mean, but would it be different if you guys had something, one of you had something and the other didn't, and you guys wouldn't got married? Would you guys see a little bit differently than that? Because if you're both starting from, ground zero on that.
Well, then because you don't trust that person and you think that they have ulterior motives and that they may be in it for their agenda or something. If you feel that, don't move on with them.
I want to be. I mean, a prenup. You think a prenup says that you don't trust the person? I guess that's,
to me, that's what it says.
Do you guys feel like a prenup? Let's ask the viewers. What do you guys think? A prenup is what? I mean, is it a bad thing?
I mean, Candace said either way, I'm buying a new pack of hair. So,
oh wow,
his money or mine. See, it's our money. You put it in one pot. You do what you have to do out of that pot, and everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
So, yeah. But the prenup thing, it's saying I don't trust you in the long run to leave and take some of my stuff. That's what it's saying. Whatever stuff I have, I'm going to have my stuff. You're going to have your stuff.
Really?
It's not
going to.
That's what it says.
Or is it saying that something that I'm bringing before this marriage, if hypothetically, if it ends, I'm taking out. But if we build this together, we're splitting 50-50.
So how do you...
Isn't that a logical, to me, a way of looking at it, though?
Well, you're going to split it 50-50 either way. I mean, I've seen people have owned houses before they got married, and because of the length of that marriage, she's entitled to half of that house.
I've seen it firsthand, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but it's not for everybody.
Right.
But there's some people who run their marriage like a business.
Exactly.
But it works for them. So
okay, if that works for you. What Tina said, you can't predict the future. If I had billions before marriage, then I want billions after marriage. And you will have. I mean, if you got 2 or 3 less billions.
Come on, because you guys are, what Nick say? Nick Jones.
Man, Mr. Nick Jones had a couple of things to say. One of them, he said, prenups, I feel, are for people in certain tax brackets.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got shit, split down the middle. Then what are you even on about?
Because there's a lot of times when you get married or whatever the case might be, right? Or you get settled in your career and your finances go up.
Right. So
the thing about it is, but you never know what the future might bring, and you start making money. Hey,
Right. But it doesn't matter. If you build it, you're going to split it. If you divorce, it doesn't matter. Be ready for that.
But that's a given.
Yeah, that's a given. So
all the prenup is just we talked about beforehand. Especially if you get older, right? You've been married maybe a couple times. you got took. You might look at it a little different.
Okay.
Or you think you got took, right?
Yeah.
One of the things Deb Brooks said is they are. If I'm rich and brought you up off my hard work and you didn't chip in, then you don't deserve it unless I love you that much.
Well, what do you mean by they didn't chip in?
So, right. They didn't chip in financially,
but they're taking care of kids and doing those type of things.
Their contributions aided in your success.
Yeah.
So you can't say.
Isn't that kind of a problem with us men, though? We don't look at that as a contribution, and that's the problem that I think we run into.
Yeah, and then get too attached to material things.
I hear them.
You want your stuff, and you want your stuff, and women want the shiny stuff, and But I think, regardless of any relationship or marriage, when you go into that marriage, even if you divorce, both of you should be in a better condition, in better shape than you were when you came into that situation.
But I'm going to tell you, yes, until one person's cheated and got caught cheating. I think it
doesn't matter.
You can say that. I emotions run high.
But relationships and marriages end for various reasons. But as far as the finances and where you are in life, each one of you should advance equally. And when you leave, you should be in a better shape than you were when you got into that relationship.
If you both left on a, kind of left it, came to agreement, hey, this ain't working for both of us. But when somebody finds out some infidelity,
well, a lot of times the courts will decide that. But still, you're both
courts will help decide it, but emotions run.
That's when the courts come in.
We hope, yeah.
And make that decision for you, because you can't make these emotional decisions. They never.
All right, we got. Oh, man. Nick said marriages are. What did Nick say? Nick Jones.
Man, Mr. Nick Jones said that marriages are business. Y'all better get caught slipping.
You better not get caught slipping.
Better not.
Okay, but when you guys say marriage is a business,
or ran like a business, I would say ran like a business, and I think it's you
run your life and your finances and your business
point blank
organized, but are you trying to profit off of the other person? And when you say a business, or what is that? I mean,
but a business is not necessarily a bad thing, right? If you see a successful business ran like it, you bring like your scheduling and certain aspects of a successful business. You might want to bring those aspects to a marriage or relationship.
That's right, man. It's called handling your business.
Oh, there you go. Well, you just said then it's like a business.
You're handling your business within that marriage, but you don't run it like a business, like you're trying to create profit from each other. So if I leave, I'm set up and you're not.
It's ran like a nonprofit.
Okay, there we go. Good disclaimer. Okay, I'll go with that.
Man, oh man.
Man, there you
go. Candace said, this is why it is important to be attached to someone of the same caliber.
Oh.
Once you become a unit, everything becomes one. You must pray and seek wisdom from God concerning your mate.
So finances are important then.
Right.
Right?
Well, yes, they're important, but they're, like I said, a third. And as far as look what Karen said, I've seen prenuptial agreements get shredded up in court. And Karen worked in family law for over 20 years.
Yeah. So then, so I'm not going to disagree. I've seen it or I've heard about it. I haven't seen it. So I've heard different things too. So yeah.
Because as time goes by, that prenup is a baseline.
It is.
But it gets convoluted on when you
but
start building.
But I've also seen wills get shredded. You know what I'm saying? Because they're 40 years old.
Right?
So yeah. So it's this.
I mean, there's a few different angles. It seems.
Okay. Talk to us.
D said, "I don't care if you have $10. You should have a prenup.
Oh.
In a community property state, things will be split. However, if you divorce, you should be protected financially, emotionally, and physically."
Amen.
But if that was a long-term marriage and you built a lot of wealth and assets over that time, that prenup is null and void. Okay, I came in and I had my car and $20,000 in the bank. Well, now you got a house, a condo, a boat, a vacation home, and a couple $100,000 in the bank. So that prenup's out the window at that point.
Okay.
Do you want to leave with that car and the $20,000? Yeah, you can have that. And she gets everything else. So
all I'm saying
is, or do you rip up the prenup and start from scratch?
And it all sounds good, but let the marriage end with infidelity.
Doesn't matter why.
Well, I'm just saying, emotions run high.
Yeah.
So those type of things are, So I understand what you're saying.
Anytime there's a divorce, there's a split. Emotions are going to run high.
So you're telling me that emotion wouldn't be the highest emotion out of all of that and heighten everything else, infidelity in a marriage?
Well, what if it's an addiction issue? What if it's a heroin addiction?
Yeah, I mean,
is that not going to run high as cheating?
Oh, I don't think it's going to be the same. I don't think it's the same thing. We getting, and guys, once again, we want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We see the comments. We see you guys. We appreciate you guys for tuning into Shopkulture. And again, we always want to tell everybody, if you want to see all the comments, you got to go to the Shopkulture page. So that's just a little something for you guys. But we so appreciate you guys for tuning in to, you know what it is, Shop Culture. No.
Yep. We got to pay our advertisers.
And actually, by next month, we're going to have new advertisers. So Shop Culture stuff is growing and building. And we need you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Uh-oh. Karen on the same page.
Okay, Karen.
We'll take your $10 that you put in the prenup and give her everything else. So do you want to rip up the prenup and start from scratch, or you want to take what you came with?
Go V. V. I'm still with you, V. They're trying to get us. V. We're right here. I feel you.
I see you. Yo, Mr. Nicholas Jones said, yo, let love have you in the Salvation Army with that way of thinking, Doc.
Nick Jones.
Man, oh man, boy. It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here.
You gonna let love have you in the South? Oh, no. Because you're gonna come out equal. You're not gonna take everything from the man. You're gonna come out. A fair divorce settlement comes out where neither one of you feel satisfied, but it's both a fair division of assets.
Yes.
I mean, if you got kids, you're going to pay some child support.
And you should.
Whoever the custodial parent is going to get child support. Sometimes it's the man. Sometimes it gets split custody, and there's no child support, which is a good thing because the kids get time.
Do women ever pay child support?
Both the parents. Absolutely, women pay child support.
Don't say absolutely like it's an everyday thing. Don't say every day like it's an absolute
There are men that are single parents.
There are women that play it, but please do not make it sound like it's a 50-50 split, though.
Oh, no. Because most likely the courts want to see the child with the mother. Or you can work out a split custody thing and there's no child support involved.
We're going to have a show about that.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
There is that.
And that segues us into our next subject.
See how
that we got a lot of feedback about and we need to discuss. Getting into a relationship with someone that has kids. Number one, you have to like kids or don't even consider it. And you have to understand that some of your finances and time are going to go towards the rearing of those kids. But to take it to another level, say these kids are bad. Say these kids are irresponsible. They don't clean up. Maybe the mother or the custodial parent isn't enforcing that. How do you deal with that? I mean, do you tell that parent your kids are lazy, your kids are slobs, or how do you deal with that? You can't come into a relationship and discipline someone else's kids, but you have a real connection with this person, but it really bothers you that these kids may be disrespectful, they're bad, they may be lazy and shiftless, they don't handle simple responsibilities and chores around the house. How do you deal with that?
According to a couple of our viewers, primarily Miss Karen Hill and Miss Mickey Payne, both said don't do it.
Oh,
Nicholas Jones just chimed in and said don't do it.
Don't do it?
Man, we got 3 people literally that said do not do it. We had
what are we talking about?
We had don't jump in that fire, man. If the kids is bad.
So Nick, are you not? You said don't deal with a person who has these bad kids, or don't deal with women who have kids.
Ooh.
Right.
Yo, V said I've worked in family law as well, and Karen is right. Prenup are always challenged.
Okay.
My ex-fiance was being paid child support because he had custody of his son.
Wow.
There we go.
There you go. So, yes.
It does
so that answers
happen.
my question. It does happen.
People just don't speak on this as often, but there are responsible fathers out there that are taking care of their kids.
Absolutely.
Or there's a lot of responsible fathers taking care of kids and not getting nothing, though.
Right? Well.
Yo, we had...
They need to work on that.
And Jones both said don't do it. Karen and Nick both again said don't do it.
Okay, but it's
are
hard
we
to...
talking about the relationship or are we talking about
what are we talking about exactly?
Okay.
Are we talking about...
Are we talking about disciplining the kids or are we talking about just backpedal out of the relationship altogether?
You would leave a relationship just because of kids? Or?
Because more often than not, you're spending quality time with this person before they trust you enough to bring you around their kids, and they do say you have a real connection. You feel that this is your soulmate. The chemistry is like you've never had before, and then you get to these kids and you're not so happy. Is that a deal breaker? Is that a deal breaker? Do you just back out, backpedal totally? I have my thoughts on it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
Somebody asked me what the topic was. I said bad kids. Oh yeah, what do you guys? So we got a couple people that said don't do it. And they don't respect the mom. They definitely not about to respect you. You're an outsider. You mean nothing to that kid. Sometimes the kid needs that firm voice too, that male voice.
Right, but from someone that's not their father, that's not a real authority figure, although can be a positive male influence in their life, but they don't know you like that. So how does that work? How do you? What did Karen say? I can't see. There's some weird text over there, but
the overlay.
Yeah.
Karen said, "Well, and like this." When I was dating, I didn't date a man with kids at home. I raised mine. I wasn't raising anyone else's. Didn't even go over there.
Okay.
I mean, that's
a good standard to follow. You know, find those things out up front. Do you have school age kids? I mean, if that's one of your no matter what's, then you backpedal out.
And especially if you're up front. I mean,
right.
that's yeah. Stephanie actually has a good one. What's up, Stephanie? How you doing?
Yo, Stephanie.
And I hope Stephanie feeling better. I think you said she had COVID, or had a case of it. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. No, it was on the thing. I said, well, telling her to feel better. Definitely.
Yo, Stephanie said, I've had people dumped me because of my kids.
Yeah.
My kids have lots of medical issues, any needs, any education needs, lots of work. Most men won't step up.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a lot of responsibility to handle. That's a challenge. That takes patience and perseverance to deal with special needs kids.
Yes.
And that's another issue. That's taking it to another step. I mean, you've spent time with this woman and you're really making a connection and you see a future with her, but do you have time and resources and patience to deal with these special needs kids? Because that's part of the package.
That's part of the package. And Stephanie, do you rather these men be upfront with you instead of, getting to a point that, 6 or 7 months into the relationship, right? And then they say, hey, I'm done. That's cold.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
But sometimes it's 3 or 4 months into the relationship before you even meet the kid, before she decides that this is serious. Mm-hmm. But if you have these challenges in your life, and you have special needs kids, you should bring that up early in the relationship, that you have these special needs kids. And
I'm pretty sure they would say that up front. So right. That's a tough one, though, because I don't know. There's 2 ways of looking at that one, though, because it is tough, right?
Right.
But you don't want to waste each other's time.
Right.
Or is that person being,
being superficial and just trying to get to the cookie jar, and that's all they want.
So you almost got to make them, man. You got to really be tough and make them wait.
Right.
So, that's what.
But my advice is, if you get into that situation, if you think that the relationship is worth it, and you see that things can be turned around. Say the kids are just lazy and not doing their chores, and the house is dirty and the kids aren't picking up after themselves and things like that. You have to talk to the custodial parent, whoever that parent is, and they have to lay down the laws, the standards of what they want these kids to do, and then you reinforce that. If these kids aren't doing what their parent told them to do, and you're around, then you can reinforce and say, didn't your mother say you're supposed to do A, B, C, this, that, and the third?
But that's if the mother gives you.
You have to have this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. That's if she gives you permission to talk to her kids.
You have this conversation. You lay down the law, and I'm going to help you enforce it.
Yeah, that is.
And she's going to have to talk to these kids that you and her are on the same page. You're a united front. We're speaking with one voice. If you hear this from me, you're going to hear the same thing from him. You have to be that united front.
Okay, but again, I mean, that takes time.
It takes time.
And that goes through, your pillars of what you're saying, the communication. And is this going to be my future?
Right. Absolutely.
So if you're just dating, then you probably shouldn't have them around your children.
Right. But when you get to that point that you say, okay, we're taking this to the next level, and I'm bringing you around my kids, I think you'd be a positive influence on their rearing, then you're doing that together. Then you need to be a united front. But that custodial parent has to be the initial enforcer, and you just reinforce. But you can't be that authoritarian figure.
Well, no. And again, coming into it, you should know that coming in, it takes time, and you have to have permission. Right. Do you talk to the father too, the biological father, on in those type of?
If he's in the picture, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't want to make kids feel that they're being alienated from their father, and you want to set that clear boundary. No, I'm not your father, but I want to. But you are going to be a positive influence in their life.
I agree with that. Well, guys, once again, we are going to start tying this down. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to Shopkulture once again, and then Doctor, man, I know we got some last words. Let's get to them.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I want to say that when it comes to these kids, like Stephanie says, one voice. Yeah, you have to talk about that. Make sure you're on the same page. Okay, do we got some advertisers to pay before we get to the closing thoughts? Okay.
So guys, once again, you guys, please like and share the Shopkulture page. And man, we're doing this every Tuesday. You know how we're doing this.
All right. And chime in. We're going to try to respond to all these comments off air. There'll be a couple watch parties. Invite a friend, tell a friend to bring a friend. And we're just trying to grow the show.
Real quickly, Stephanie has a really good question, and I want to answer it. So,
you know what? Stephanie, mad props on this one. Stephanie had a question, and she said, I see folks bring their kids way too early. Are you turned off from a woman who tries too early?
Absolutely.
Yes, and that says a lot.
It does.
I mean, that raises a red flag if you bring the kids in too early, and it speaks to the mothering instinct on are you the mother bear and how much you're really protecting your kids.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that before.
Because your kids should come before anyone that you are bringing into your life, and you want to be 100% sure that this is a person that you can trust around your kids.
Mm-hmm. And to me, it doesn't matter at what age. You still should have a certain level of timing and respect for your children.
Absolutely.
Honestly, fellas, I want to know how early is too early. Like, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this conversation, because this honestly has me kind of perplexed. Like, I want to know what the real idea is. Can we pick this up?
Absolutely.
Well, we can. Yeah, next time
we'll close out on it, and we're going to bring some other topics. And next week on the show, we're going to have a guest. Is that correct?
We have a dating expert coming on, Miss Shai. She's going to come on and talk about dating and talk about her services. So a lot of you guys who are single out there, man, tune in.
Right.
Male and female.
Right. And it's going to be some good dialogue, because she seems to.
Oh yeah, she's
from her dating business seems to somewhat think that there's a shortage of good men out there.
So, I agree with her.
Okay, I have some opposition to that statement, so it's going to be some good dialogue.
Man, it looks like we already started to get some traction on next week's topics, but man, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, for tuning in. For, man, getting close to the end of 2020. Appreciate you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great night. And we will see you back here next Tuesday at 8:30.
We have closing thoughts by the Doc himself. Talk to him, Doc.
All right. I just want you guys, just closing thoughts, keep this on your mind, that being vulnerable and honest about all aspects of your life is an act of courage. Some people believe that they need to keep secrets or lie to survive in their relationship. They lack confidence in their ability to confront unpleasant topics and money troubles, or don't have faith in their relationships that can be worked out together. If a relationship lacks communication and full disclosure of things like financial information or how you feel about each other's children's behavior, if you feel you have to keep your mate out of your cell phone, that's just the surface of the problem. Get to the root of it. Someone's not happy, and that is an issue. Deal with the elephant in the room. Restore your happiness through effective communication. And that's what I got for you. Let it marinate.
You know, another good word by, you know who this guy is, the relationship guru, Mr./Dr. James R. Hill. And I'm Barry Crosby. And we got the voice.
Yo, what's up? Appreciate you.
All right. We appreciate y'all.
Man.
See you next time.
Always. Stay safe. Be blessed.
Happy holidays.